Hey 515, welcome to Instagram TV with the McCartneys. This is day one of the follow along Bible study. We're going through the book of Colossians. We're going to try our best to make this really short. The way this is going to work is we're just going to read the passage, and then we are going to give you a couple things to stand out to us, some things to get you started as you engage with the passage, and then we're going to leave some questions in the descriptions that you can work through with your friends, with your family, by yourself in your journal, however it makes sense. So in order to make this not super long, you're going to read this with us, so press pause now and read it, and then press play. Okay.
Okay, they read it.
If you didn't read it, which I know some of you didn't, you just waited and found the awkward pause. Press pause again and read it now.
Because you got to read it to know what we're talking about.
Okay. Go ahead, Brenna.
Okay, so this is a letter from Paul to the Colossians. He's just praying for these people, just like we are for you and your church leaders are for us. And he's praying that we will grow in our love and knowledge of God. And he's also praying that we will bear fruit, and these Colossians will bear fruit as well. What a great time we have right now to be doing that, to be growing in our knowledge of God by praying and having more time to read our Bibles.
Yeah. I think there's so much that happens in this passage. I just want to draw our attentions to verse 11 for a second. So he's praying that we'll grow in the knowledge of God, being strengthened, all power according to glorious might. And then he says, he's praying that we will have great endurance and patience so that we can joyfully give thanks to the Father who has enabled us to basically share in the inheritance of Jesus, of heaven, all these things, right? And I think that's a really, really cool, very interesting thing to be thinking about for us right now, because a lot of us need endurance and we need patience. And on top of that, we need the ability to be able to give thanks to God with joy. I really need that prayer from Paul right now. And he's praying this for us. He's praying this for the church in Colossae, but also in the future for us. And so we want to pray that for you too, that you would have endurance and patience in this time. And I think one last thing that's really cool to note is he uses the word fruit twice in this passage. Whenever you see something repeated, that's a win. Circle that. Keep going, right? And so he says there's two things that are able to bear fruit in this passage. There's the gospel, which is spreading all over the world, and there's the fruit in us. And it's really interesting because obviously right now we're experiencing something spreading all over the world, but it's having negative effects. And here Paul is thanking God for the spread of something all over the world, but it's having positive effects, which is the gospel. That means people are responding to it. People are becoming Christians. And that's what we want. I want to ask you guys to pray that will continue today, that both the gospel will still go forward, even though we can't necessarily leave our homes, but also that it will bear fruit in us. And here's the gospel for you, if you don't know what that is. Verse 13 and 14 is a great way of reading it. It says this: He has rescued us from the domain of darkness and transferred us into the kingdom of the Son he loves. In him we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. So redemption, right? That's this wonderful, we were here and now we're here. He says he's put us into this new kingdom. So think of a bucket over here of dominion of darkness and a bucket over here of the kingdom of the Son he loves. And he's basically just picked us up and put us in that bucket. And so that's the gospel. He's forgiven you of your sins. He's redeemed you. You're no longer a wretched sinner. You're a beautiful son of God. So that is a great truth to always remember. So I hope this is helpful. We're going to keep doing these every day this week. Look out for other stuff going on. There's the questions in the description. We hope that you can engage with them and take time to journal and do whatever you will with them. We hope they're helpful. See you guys soon.